The accidental awakening. The vast expanse of space stretched out before Dr. Elara Vance as she gazed through the reinforced viewport of Space Station Harmony. Countless stars twinkled in the distance, a reminder of the infinite mysteries that awaited exploration. Elara sighed, her breath briefly fogging the glass. As the station's lead xenobiologist, she had hoped for more exciting discoveries than the monotonous analysis of space dust and microbial samples. Dr. Vance to Artifact Chamber 3, the station's AI announced, its voice echoing through the observation deck. New readings detected. Ilara's heart quickened. Finally, a break in the routine. She hurried through the station's sleek corridors, her footsteps echoing in the metallic passageways. Other crew members nodded respectfully as she passed, aware of her reputation as one of Earth's brightest minds in the field of alien biology. The door to Artifact Chamber 3 hissed open, revealing a room filled with various objects collected from across the galaxy. In the center, hovering above an anti-gravity pedestal, was their latest acquisition, a crystalline structure about the size of a basketball, its surface etched with intricate, swirling patterns. "What have you got for me?" Elara asked, approaching the control panel where her assistant, Dr. Raj Patel, was frantically typing. "The artifact's emitting new energy signatures," Raj explained, his eyes never leaving the holographic display. "Nothing dangerous, but definitely not inert anymore." Elara leaned in, studying the readouts. The crystal's core temperature was rising, and faint pulses of energy radiated from its center. "Fascinating," she murmured. "It's almost as if it's waking up." As if in response to her words, the crystal pulsed brightly, bathing the room in an eerie blue glow. Elara and Raj stumbled back, shielding their eyes. "Containment field," Elara shouted, but before Raj could activate it, a beam of light shot from the crystal, enveloping Elara in a cocoon of shimmering energy. For a moment, Elara felt weightless, her mind flooded with a cascade of images and sensations. Alien worlds, advanced civilizations, and cosmic wonders flashed before her eyes. Just as quickly as it began, the light receded, leaving Elara gasping for breath. "Dr. Vance, are you all right?" Raj rushed to her side, helping her to her feet. I'm fine," Elara managed, her voice shaky. "But something's happening." The crystal was changing, its surface rippling like liquid mercury. As they watched in awe, it began to take shape, elongating and twisting until it formed a vaguely humanoid figure. The being stood about 7 feet tall, its body composed entirely of translucent, ever-shifting crystal. Elara and Raj backed away slowly as the figure's head turned towards them. Where eyes should have been, there were only swirling vortexes of energy. "Hello," Elara ventured, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. "Can you understand me?" The crystalline being tilted its head, as if considering her words. Then, to their astonishment, it spoke, not with sound, but with pulses of light that somehow formed words in their minds. Awake, long sleep. Where? This place." Elara's eyes widened. "You're on Space Station Harmony, orbiting Earth. I'm Dr. Elara Vance, a xenobiologist. Can you tell us who you are?" The being's form rippled, colors dancing across its surface. "Name, concept difficult. Closest translation, Zix. I am observer, collector of knowledge." "Incredible," Raj whispered. "Dr. Vance, we should alert the station commander." Elara nodded, but before she could reach for her communicator, Zix's form began to pulse erratically. Energy, unstable. Help, contain. Suddenly, objects around the room began to float, caught in Zix's gravitational field. Alarms blared as the station's systems detected the anomaly. "Zix, you need to calm down," Elara said, trying to keep her voice steady. "We can help you, but you have to control your energy output." "Cannot? Too much." Awakening too fast, Zix's mental voice was filled with distress. Elara's mind raced. She needed to stabilize Zix before the situation escalated further. Raj, the quantum stabilizer. We use it for containing exotic particles. It might work. Raj nodded, rushing to retrieve the device from a nearby storage unit. Ilara approached Zix slowly, her hands raised in a calming gesture. Zix, listen to me. We're going to use the device to help stabilize your energy. It might feel strange, but it won't harm you. Do you understand? The crystalline being's form wavered, then steadied slightly. Yes. Trust you. Help. Raj returned with a stabilizer, a sleek, cylindrical device humming with power. Ilara took it, adjusting the settings based on her quick analysis of Zix's energy signatures. Here goes nothing, she muttered, activating the device. A soft, pulsing field emanated from the stabilizer, enveloping Zix. For a tense moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, gradually, the objects floating around the room settled back into place. Zix's form became more defined, the erratic energy pulses smoothing into a steady glow. Better, Zix communicated, relief evident in the mental tone. Thank you, Ilara Vance. Ilara allowed herself a small smile. You're welcome, Zix. Now, let's figure out exactly what's going on here. Over the next few hours, Ilara and Raj worked tirelessly to understand that unexpected guest. They learned that Zix was a member of an ancient race called the Lumina, beings of pure energy who had evolved beyond physical form. Zix had been sent to observe emerging civilizations, taking the form of a seemingly inert crystal to avoid detection. Your species, fascinating, Zix communicated as Ilara ran various scans. So much potential, but also dangerous. Ilara raised an eyebrow. Dangerous? How so? Rapid advancement, unpredictable, could bring great good or great destruction to galaxy. Before Ilara could probe further, the chamber door slid open. Station Commander Alexandra Chen strode in, flanked by security officers. Her expression was a mix of awe and concern as she took in the scene. Dr. Vance, explain, Chen demanded, her eyes never leaving Zix. Ilara quickly summarized the events, emphasizing Zix's peaceful nature and the wealth of knowledge they could potentially gain. Commander Chen listened intently, her brow furrowed in thought. This is unprecedented, Chen said finally. The implications of first contact with a being like this, it's beyond anything we've prepared for. Commander, with all due respect, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, Ilara argued passionately. Zix could teach us things about the universe that would advance our understanding by centuries. Chen held up a hand. I understand your enthusiasm, Dr. Vance, but we need to proceed with caution. For now, Zix remains confined to this chamber. You may continue your research, but under strict supervision. Is that clear? Ilara nodded reluctantly. Yes, Commander. As Chen and the security team left, Ilara turned back to Zix. The crystalline being seemed to sense her disappointment. Do not worry, Ilara Vance. Time will show truth. I am here to learn, to share. Together we will bridge gap between our kinds. Ilara smiled, feeling a surge of excitement despite the restrictions. I believe you're right, Zix. This is just the beginning. As she settled in for a long night of study and conversation with her new alien companion, Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and she was at the forefront of this cosmic awakening. Little did she know that this accidental encounter would soon thrust her, Zix, and the entire crew of Space Station Harmony into an adventure that would test the limits of human ingenuity and reshape the galaxy itself. Cosmic chaos unleashed. The days following Zix's awakening on Space Station Harmony were a whirlwind of discovery and mounting tension. Dr. Ilara Vance found herself at the center of a storm, torn between her scientific curiosity and the growing concerns of the station's crew. Quantum entanglement for dummies. Ilara stood before a captivated audience in the station's main auditorium, her hands gesturing animatedly as she spoke. Thanks to Zix, we're on the brink of understanding quantum entanglement at a level we never thought possible. Imagine instant communication across galaxies, or teleportation that doesn't involve ripping you apart atom by atom. The crowd murmured excitedly, but Commander Chen's stern expression from the back of the room tempered Ilara's enthusiasm. She knew the commander was worried about the potential military applications of such technology falling into the wrong hands. As the presentation concluded, Ilara hurried back to Artifact Chamber 3, now dubbed the Crystalline Sanctum by the more imaginative crew members. Zix pulsed with a warm glow as she entered, a sign Ilara had come to recognize as pleasure. Greeting, Ilara Vance. Your species' thirst for knowledge, invigorating. Ilara smiled, approaching the containment field that still surrounded Zix. And your willingness to share is incredible. But Zix, we need to talk about control. Your powers, they're starting to affect the station in ways we can't predict. The gravity of the situation. As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the station. Ilara's comm unit crackled to life with Raj's panicked voice. Dr. Vance, we've got a situation in the hydroponics bay. The plants, they're growing out of control. Ilara's eyes widened. Zix, is this you? The crystalline being's form rippled with what Ilara had learned to interpret as distress. Apologies, excitement of sharing knowledge, difficult to contain energy output. Ilara ran to the hydroponics bay, Zix's consciousness following through the station's internal sensors. The sight that greeted them was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Vines as thick as tree trunks twisted around support beams, their growth visible to the naked eye. Fruits swelled to enormous proportions, some already splitting open from their own weight. In the center of it all, a massive flower bud pulsed ominously, its petals quivering on the verge of opening. It's beautiful, Raj whispered, dodging a rapidly extending tendril. And extremely dangerous, Ilara added, her mind racing. If this continues, it could compromise the station's structural integrity. Zix, she called out, knowing the being could hear her. We need to stop this. Can you, I don't know, reverse the energy flow? There was a moment of silence, then Zix's mental voice resonated with determination. We'll attempt, but require direct connection, remove containment field. Ilara hesitated. Removing the field meant potentially exposing the entire station to Zix's uncontrolled powers. But as a giant tomato exploded near her head, splattering the wall with pulpy projectiles, she realized they were out of options. Do it, she commanded, praying she wasn't making a terrible mistake. Rise of the Machine Whisperer. The moment the containment field dropped, Zix's crystalline form flowed through the station's corridors like liquid light. Ilara and Raj raced to keep up, arriving just as Zix merged with the hydroponics bay's central control panel. The effect was immediate and staggering. The wild plant growth halted, then began to recede, but something else was happening too. The station's lights flickered, and every screen and holographic display came to life simultaneously. Ilara Vance, Zix's voice echoed from every speaker. I am, everywhere. Your technology, so primitive yet beautiful. I can see everything. Ilara watched in amazement as system diagnostics, stellar cartography, and even classified files flashed across the screens. Zix, this is incredible, but you need to be careful. Some of this information is sensitive. Understanding, growing, Zix replied, his tone filled with wonder. Your species' achievements, limitations, I see it all. Suddenly, the station shuddered. Gravity fluctuated wildly, sending crew members floating before slamming them back to the floor. Zix, Ilara shouted, you need to focus. Remember why we're here. There was a moment of terrifying silence, then slowly, the chaos subsided. The plants returned to their normal size, and the station's systems stabilized. Zix's crystalline form emerged from the control panel, looking somehow more defined, more aware. Control, achieved, Zix communicated, a new depth to his mental voice. Apologies for distress caused, but Elara Vance, I have seen your world, your conflicts, your potential. We have much to discuss. Secrets of the cosmic web. In the aftermath of the hydroponics incident, Elara found herself in Commander Chen's office, facing a barrage of questions and barely concealed anger. Do you realize what could have happened? Chen demanded, pacing behind her desk. We could have lost the entire station, and now this alien entity has access to all our systems. Elara stood her ground. Commander, I understand your concerns, but Zix has also given us an unprecedented opportunity. The knowledge it's shared about the quantum nature of reality, it's revolutionary. Chen's expression softened slightly. Explain. Elara took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. Zix has shown us that the universe is far more interconnected than we ever imagined. There's an underlying quantum web that connects everything, stars, planets, even our own consciousness. With this knowledge, we could develop technologies that would change everything. Instantaneous travel, limitless clean energy, maybe even a way to communicate with other dimensions. The commander's eyes widened, a mix of wonder and apprehension crossing her face. And you believe we can trust this being with such power? Before Elara could respond, the station's AI interrupted. Commander, we're receiving a transmission. It's like nothing we've ever encountered before. Chen frowned. Put it through. The office's main screen flickered to life, showing a field of stars. But as they watched, the stars began to move, coalescing into a face that was both alien and hauntingly familiar. Greetings, humans of harmony, the star face spoke, its voice resonating on a frequency that made Elara's teeth vibrate. We are the Constellation Collective. Your awakening of the Lumina Observer has not gone unnoticed. Prepare yourselves, the cosmic trial begins. The transmission cut off, leaving Chen and Elara staring at each other in shocked silence. Finally, Chen spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Vance, I hope your trust in Zix is well placed, because it seems we're going to need all the help we can get. Elara nodded, her mind reeling with the implications. As she left the office to find Zix, she couldn't shake the feeling that their accidental awakening had set in motion events that would reshape the fate of humanity and perhaps the entire galaxy. The cosmic trial awaited, and Elara knew that the combined ingenuity of humanity and the ancient wisdom of Zix would be their only hope of facing whatever challenges lay ahead. As she walked through the station's corridors, she saw fear in the eyes of her fellow crew members, but also determination. Humanity had come too far to back down now. With Zix by their side, they would face its trial head-on, ready to prove that humanity deserved its place among the stars. Galactic Gauntlet. The revelation of the cosmic trial sent shockwaves through space station harmony. As news spread, a mix of fear and excitement gripped the crew. Dr. Elara Vance found herself at the center of a storm, juggling the demands of preparing for an unknown challenge while trying to understand the full extent of Zix's capabilities. Quantum quandaries and cosmic conundrums. Elara stood before a holographic display in the newly christened Nexus Chamber, a repurposed cargo bay now serving as the hub for their trial preparations. Zix hovered nearby, its crystalline form pulsing with an array of colors that seemed to correspond with the complex equations floating in the air. Okay, let's go over this again, Elara said, her voice tinged with a mix of frustration and awe. You're saying that the Constellation Collective exists in a state of quantum superposition across multiple dimensions. Zix's mental voice resonated with patience. Affirmative. Collective transcends linear spacetime, exists simultaneously in past, present, future. Challenge will reflect this nature. Rage, who had been furiously taking notes, looked up with wide eyes. So we're not just facing a test of our technology or our ethics, but our very understanding of reality itself. Correct, Zix confirmed. Humanity must prove worthy of cosmic citizenship, must demonstrate ability to perceive beyond limited four-dimensional existence. Ilara ran a hand through her hair, her mind reeling with the implications. And you really think we're ready for this? We've barely scratched the surface of quantum mechanics, let alone mastered interdimensional travel. Zix's fawn shimmered, a gesture Ilara had come to recognize as the alien equivalent of a reassuring smile. Potential within humanity vast. Creativity, adaptability key strengths. Together, we will face trial. As if on cue, the station's AI announced, "Attention all personnel. Unknown energy signature detected approaching the station. ETA, 10 minutes. Ilara's heart raced. Looks like we're out of time for theorizing. Zix, we need practical solutions. How do we prepare for a challenge we can't even comprehend? Hyperdimensional harmonics. The next few minutes were a blur of activity. Crew members rushed to their stations, while Ilara, Raj, and Zix hurried to the observation deck. As they arrived, a collective gasp rippled through the gathered crowd. Outside the reinforced viewport, space itself seemed to be folding. Stars stretched and twisted, forming impossible geometric patterns that hurt the eyes to look at directly. At the center of this cosmic distortion, a shape began to take form, a massive crystalline structure that dwarfed the station. "By all that's holy," Commander Chen whispered, her usual stoic demeanor cracking. "What is that thing?" Zix's mental voice was filled with a mix of reverence and excitement. "The harmonic nexus. Cosmic trial begins." Before anyone could respond, a beam of iridescent light shot from the crystalline megastructure, enveloping the station. Ilara braced herself for something, but instead of destruction or pain, she felt a strange tingling sensation throughout her body. "Whoa," Reg exclaimed, staring at his hands in wonder. "Is anyone else feeling different?" Ilara nodded, her senses suddenly hyper-aware. She could perceive colors she'd never seen before, hear frequencies beyond normal human range. And strangest of all, she could somehow sense the thoughts and emotions of everyone around her. "Zix," she called out, her voice sounding strange to her own ears. "What's happening to us?" The crystalline being's form rippled with excitement. "Harmonic nexus, aligning your consciousness with higher dimensional frequencies, preparing you for trial." A booming voice, felt more than heard, resonated through the station. "Humans of harmony, you stand at the threshold of cosmic awakening. Your trial begins now. Navigate the labyrinth of realities, solve the paradox of perception, and face the mirror of cosmic truth. Prove your worth to join the galactic community." With that, the observation deck shimmered and dissolved around them. Ilara found herself floating in a void filled with swirling fractal patterns that seemed to lead in every direction at once. The labyrinth of infinite possibilities. "Okay, don't panic," Ilara said, trying to keep her voice steady as she looked around at her equally disoriented crewmates. "We knew this wasn't going to be a normal test. Zix, any insights?" The crystalline being's form had changed, becoming more fluid and intricate. "Labyrinth exists in conceptual space. Physical laws as you know them do not apply. Must navigate using thought, intention." Raj let out a nervous laugh. "Great, so we just have to think our way through a maze that probably breaks every law of physics we know. No pressure." Ilara took a deep breath, centering herself. "We can do this. Humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt, to think outside the box. Zix, you said creativity is key, so let's get creative." As the crew began to brainstorm, throwing out increasingly wild ideas, Ilara felt a strange sensation. The swirling patterns around them seemed to respond to their thoughts, shifting and realigning with each new concept discussed. "Wait," she said, holding up a hand. I think we're already solving it. The labyrinth, it's not a physical space we need to move through. It's a representation of possibilities, of potential realities." Zix's mental voice radiated approval. "Excellent observation, Ilara Vance. Labyrinth reflects infinite timeline branches. To navigate, must choose ideal future for humanity." Commander Chen stepped forward, her expression determined. So we need to envision the best possible future for our species and, believe in it hard enough to make it real. Affirmative, Six confirmed, but caution required. Choose wisely. Each decision shapes reality. What followed was unlike anything Elara had ever experienced. The crew joined hands, forming a circle with Zix at the center. As they focused their thoughts, visions of potential futures flickered around them like a cosmic slideshow. They saw timelines where humanity had achieved utopian peace, others where technological advancement had led to dystopian ruin, futures where Earth had been abandoned, and others where it had become the center of a thriving galactic federation. With each vision, they debated, discussed, and ultimately chose, shaping their path through the labyrinth of possibilities. It was exhausting, exhilarating work that stretched the limits of their imagination and challenged their deepest beliefs about humanity's potential. Finally, after what felt like both an eternity and no time at all, the swirling patterns coalesced into a single brilliant point of light. As one, guided by some instinct they didn't fully understand, the crew reached out and touched it. Reality shifted once more, and they found themselves in a vast chamber that seemed to be made of pure, crystalline thought. At its center stood a shimmering mercurial surface that hurt the eyes to look at directly. The booming voice returned. "You have navigated the labyrinth of realities. Now face the mirror of cosmic truth, look upon yourselves and be judged." Elara stepped forward, her heart pounding. She knew, somehow, that this was the moment everything had been leading to. As she gazed into the mirror, she saw not just her own reflection, but the reflection of humanity itself, all its triumphs and failures, its boundless potential and its deepest flaws. "We're ready," she said, her voice steady despite her inner turmoil. "Whatever judgment awaits us, we face it together." As the mirror's surface began to ripple and change, Elara felt Zix's reassuring presence beside her. Whatever cosmic verdict awaited them, she knew that this was just the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure. The trial's final challenge loomed before them, promising to push the boundaries of their understanding even further and test the very limits of human potential. Quantum quandaries and cosmic conundrums. As Elara and the crew of Space Station Harmony stood before the mirror of cosmic truth, the very fabric of reality seemed to hold its breath. The mirror's surface rippled and swirled, reflecting not just their physical forms, but the entirety of human history, potential, and consciousness. Schrodinger's species. "Whoa," Raj whispered, his eyes wide with wonder. "Is anyone else seeing everything?" Elara nodded, her mind reeling from the cosmic download. "It's like we're experiencing the entire human experience simultaneously. Every triumph, every failure, every possibility." Commander Chen's voice was unusually soft. It's beautiful and terrifying. The booming voice of the Constellation Collective resonated through their beings. "Humans of harmony, you stand at the crossroads of existence. Your species exists in a state of quantum superposition, capable of both greatness and destruction. The time has come to collapse the wave function. Will you ascend to cosmic citizenship or fade into the background radiation of the universe?" Zix's crystalline form pulsed with anticipation. "Critical moment, Elara Vance. Humanity must make choice that defines your cosmic destiny." Elara took a deep breath, centering herself amidst the swirling chaos of human potential. "Okay, team, we've come this far together. Let's show the universe what humanity is truly capable of." The paradox paradigm. As if responding to Elara's determination, the mirror of cosmic truth shimmered, and a series of mind-bending challenges materialized before them. The quantum empathy engine, a device that allowed them to experience the consciousness of every living being in the universe simultaneously. The temporal tangle, a three-dimensional representation of time itself, with countless threads of causality intertwining in impossible ways. The infinity abacus, a cosmic calculator capable of computing the fundamental nature of reality if only they could decipher its multidimensional interface. Well, Raj said with a nervous chuckle, I don't think they covered any of this in Starfleet Academy. Ilara's mind raced, trying to make sense of the challenges before them. Zix, any insights? How do we even begin to approach these? The crystalline being's form rippled with what Ilara had come to recognize as excitement. Challenges designed to test limits of human comprehension. Must think beyond traditional boundaries. Embrace paradox. Commander Chen stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the quantum empathy engine. I'll take this one. If there's one thing humans understand, it's the power of empathy. Reg nodded, approaching the temporal tangle. I've always been good with puzzles, even if this one exists in 11 dimensions. Ilara found herself drawn to the infinity abacus. Guess that leaves me with the nature of reality itself, no pressure. As they each faced their respective challenges, Ilara felt a surge of pride. Despite the mind-bending nature of the tasks before them, her team approached them with determination, creativity, and a uniquely human blend of scientific rigor and intuitive leaps. Cosmic calculus and the human variable. Ilara stared at the infinity abacus, its multidimensional interface shifting and morphing in ways that made her eyes water. Equations beyond her comprehension flowed across its surface, each one holding the key to some fundamental aspect of the universe. Okay, she muttered to herself, think outside the box. What would Zix do? As if in response to her thoughts, she felt a gentle nudge in her mind. Zix, offering support without directly interfering. Inspired, Ilara closed her eyes and let her consciousness expand, embracing the paradoxical nature of the universe. Suddenly, it clicked. The infinity abacus wasn't a tool to be used, but a representation of the universe's underlying mathematical structure, and the missing variable in all its complex equations, consciousness itself. With trembling hands, Ilara reached out and added a simple symbol to the swirling equations, a representation of awareness, of the observer effect that quantum physics had long hinted at. The abacus hummed to life, its calculations finally complete. Around her, she saw her teammates making similar breakthroughs. Commander Chen emerged from the quantum empathy engine with tears in her eyes and a newfound understanding of cosmic interconnectedness. Raj, his brow furrowed in concentration, untangled the last threads of the temporal tangle, revealing the non-linear, cyclical nature of time itself. As the last challenge fell, the mirror of cosmic truth flared with blinding light. When it faded, the crew found themselves back on the observation deck of Space Station Harmony, but they were irrevocably changed. Cosmic citizenship and the human equation. The voice of the Constellation Collective echoed through the station, but this time it felt less alien, more familiar. Humans of Harmony, you've faced the trials and emerged transformed. Your species has demonstrated not just intelligence, but wisdom. Not just adaptability, but true understanding of the cosmic tapestry. Ilara stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. Does this mean we passed? A ripple of amusement passed through the cosmic voice. Pass. My dear, you've rewritten the exam itself. Humanity's unique perspective, your ability to embrace paradox and find unity in diversity. These are qualities the universe desperately needs. Zix's form pulsed with pride. Told you, humanity's potential limitless. Commander Chen cleared her throat, ever the pragmatist. So what happens now? Do we get a fancy cosmic certificate or something? The collective's response was both thrilling and terrifying. Now you take your place among the stars. Humanity is hereby granted full cosmic citizenship, with all the rights, responsibilities, and adventures that come with it. The observation deck's viewport shimmered, revealing not just their familiar solar system, but countless worlds, civilizations, and wonders beyond imagination. Ilara's heart raced with excitement. So this is just the beginning. Indeed, the collective confirmed. You've unlocked humanity's true potential. The universe awaits your unique contributions. But remember, with great power comes great cosmic responsibility. As the crew of Space Station Harmony looked out at the infinite possibilities now open to them, Ilara felt a mix of exhilaration and humility. They had faced the ultimate test and emerged victorious, not through brute force or technological superiority, but through the very qualities that made them human: curiosity, empathy, and the ability to find hope in even the most paradoxical situations. Zix floated beside her, its crystalline form now seamlessly integrated with the station's systems. Ready for next adventure, Ilara Vance. Ilara grinned, her mind already racing with the possibilities. You bet. Looks like we've got a whole universe to explore and some cosmic neighbors to meet. As Space Station Harmony prepared for its first official mission as Earth's embassy to the cosmos, Ilara couldn't help but feel that this was the moment humanity had been working towards since they first looked up at the stars and dreamed. The accidental awakening of Zix had set in motion a chain of events that reshaped their destiny, proving once and for all that humanity's greatest strength lay not in their technology, but in their spirit. The cosmic adventure was just beginning, and Ilara couldn't wait to see what paradoxes, wonders, and challenges awaited them among the stars. Cosmic crescendo, the harmonic convergence. As Space Station Harmony prepared for its inaugural voyage as Earth's cosmic embassy, an air of electric anticipation permeated every deck. Dr. Ilara Vance stood at the helm, her eyes gleaming with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The station's new quantum drive, a marvel of human ingenuity and alien wisdom, hummed with barely contained power. Riding the cosmic waves. All systems go, Dr. Vance, Raj reported, his fingers dancing across a holographic interface that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once. The harmonic resonator is aligned with the galactic ley lines. Commander Chen nodded, her usual stoic demeanor tinged with awe. I still can't believe we're about to surf the quantum foam of the universe. Zix, are you sure this is safe? The crystalline being, now fully integrated into the station's systems, pulsed with reassuring light. Safety relative concept in multiversal travel, but probability of success, high. Harmony ready for cosmic journey. Ilara took a deep breath, centering herself. All right, team, this is it. The moment humanity takes its first true step into the galactic community. Are we ready to make history? A chorus of affirmations rang out across the bridge. With a surge of confidence, Ilara gave the command. Initiate harmonic convergence. The quantum drive roared to life, enveloping the station in a cocoon of shimmering energy. Through the viewport, Ilara watched in awe as reality itself seemed to fold around them. Stars stretched into brilliant streaks of light, and for a moment she could swear she saw the very strings of the universe vibrating in cosmic harmony. Multiversal marketplace. With a flash of prismatic light, Space Station Harmony emerged from quantum space into a scene straight out of the wildest science fiction. They found themselves docked at the fabled Nexus Hub, a colossal space station that served as the central trading post for countless alien civilizations. By Einstein's mustache, Raj whispered, his eyes wide as saucers. Are those dragons piloting starships? Indeed, serpentine creatures of impossible size and grace glided between crystalline structures that defied Euclidean geometry. Nearby, a group of beings that seemed to be made of pure energy haggled with tentacled merchants over glowing orbs that Ilara suspected contained entire pocket universes. Welcome, humans of harmony, to the Nexus Hub, a melodious voice greeted them. A holographic figure materialized on the bridge, a being of swirling stardust and twinkling lights. I am Celestia, the hub's overseer. We've been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Commander Chen stepped forward, her diplomatic training kicking in despite her obvious awe. On behalf of Earth and humanity, we're honored to be here. We come seeking knowledge, trade, and peaceful exchange with our galactic neighbors. Celestia's form shimmered with what might have been amusement, and you shall find all that and more, dear humans. But first, a word of caution. The Nexus Hub operates on principles that may challenge your current understanding of reality. Are you prepared to expand your minds? Quite literally. Ilara felt a thrill of excitement mixed with a healthy dose of trepidation. We're ready for anything. Bring it on. The Paradigm Shift Emporium. As the crew of Harmony ventured into the hub, they found themselves in a bazaar that put even the wildest alien markets of science fiction to shame. Stalls manned by creatures beyond imagination offered wares that boggled the mind. Bottled black holes, perfect for powering small galaxies or as conversation pieces. Quantum-entangled pets that existed simultaneously in multiple dimensions. Time loops in a can, guaranteed to give you those extra hours in the day you've always wanted. Side effects may include temporal paradoxes and meeting your own grandparents. Remember, Ilara cautioned her wide-eyed team, we're here to establish diplomatic relations and seek knowledge that can benefit Earth. Try not to get too distracted. No sooner had the words left her mouth than she found herself drawn to a peculiar stall. An alien that seemed to be made of shifting fractal patterns beckoned her closer. Ah, a new species to the hub. The merchant's thoughts resonated directly in Ilara's mind. Perhaps the esteemed human would be interested in our latest product. Behold, the Cosmic Consciousness Expander. The alien gestured to what looked like a kaleidoscopic snow globe. Within its swirling depths, Ilara could see entire universes being born and dying in the span of seconds. Ah, thanks, Ilara managed, tearing her gaze away from the mesmerizing object. But I think our consciousnesses have been expanded quite enough lately. The Galactic United Nations. As fascinating as the market was, the true purpose of their visit awaited them at the heart of the Nexus Hub. The crew of Harmony found themselves ushered into a vast chamber that seemed to exist in multiple planes of reality simultaneously. Gathered around a table that twisted through dimensions were representatives from hundreds of alien civilizations. Some were recognizably humanoid, others defied description, beings of pure thought, collective consciousnesses inhabiting swarms of nanobots, and entities that seemed to slip in and out of existence as Ilara watched. A hush fell over the assembly as the humans entered. Celestia's voice rang out, "Esteemed members of the Galactic Concord, I present to you the newest members of our cosmic community, the humans of Earth." What followed was the most surreal diplomatic meeting in human history. Ilara and her team found themselves fielding questions that ranged from the mundane to the mind-bending. Is it true that humans still perceive time as linear? How charmingly primitive. Your species' penchant for creating imaginary stories, this fiction, is most intriguing. Might we sample some of this Shakespeare we've heard about? We've analyzed your internet. Why are there so many pictures of small furry creatures with misspelled captions? Despite the occasional cultural misunderstanding, no, humans cannot actually give 110% or move mountains with sheer willpower. The meeting was a resounding success. Earth was officially welcomed into the galactic community with agreements for cultural exchange, scientific collaboration, and trade relations signed in ink, energy signatures, and in one case, interpretive temporal dance. The cosmic tapestry unfolds. As the diplomatic proceedings wound down, Ilara found a quiet moment to reflect. She stood before a massive window that looked out over the swirling cosmos, marveling at how far they'd come in such a short time. Zix's consciousness brushed against her mind, a now familiar presence. Contemplating cosmic significance, Ilara advanced. Ilara smiled. Just thinking about how an accidental awakening led to all this, it's almost too much to comprehend. Comprehension overrated, Zix replied, a hint of amusement in its mental voice. Experience, adaptation, growth. These are true measures of cosmic citizenship. Humanity excels in all. Their moment of reflection was interrupted by an urgent call from the bridge. Dr. Vance. Ray's voice crackled over the comm. You're going to want to see this. We're picking up a signal from Earth. Racing back to the bridge, Ilara arrived just in time to see a familiar face materialize on the main screen, the Secretary General of the United Nations. Dr. Vance, Commander Chen, the Secretary General's voice was tight with urgency. "We need you to return to Earth immediately. There's been a development." The screen split, showing images that made Ilara's blood run cold. Massive otherworldly structures were emerging from the oceans, and strange lights danced in the skies over every major city. "It seems," Secretary General continued, "that Earth had some sleeping guests of its own, and your cosmic debut has woken them up." As alarms blared and the crew rushed to prepare for an emergency return journey, Ilara felt a mix of fear and exhilaration. They had unlocked humanity's place among the stars, but it seemed the greatest challenges and adventures still awaited them back home. "Well," she said, strapping herself into the command chair, "looks like our cosmic adventure is just getting started. Helm, set a course for Earth. Maximum quantum drive." As Space Station Harmony prepared to dive back into the quantum phone, Ilara couldn't help but smile. Humanity had faced the ultimate test among the stars, but their greatest trial awaited on the very planet they called home. Whatever cosmic mysteries or ancient awakened beings they were about to face, she knew that with their newfound knowledge, alien allies, and indomitable human spirit, they were ready for anything the universe could throw at them. The cosmic saga of humanity was entering a new, thrilling chapter, and Ilara Vance was ready to write it among the stars.